D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I just finished the Hawkeye season 1 finale, and let me just tell you right now, I enjoyed this show. It's the only Marvel show that I've enjoyed so far. I think the rest just suck, and I'm really happy that I like this show. I don't know why I like this show compared to the other ones. I just think that I thought that the writing was really good. I mean, and I've said it before in my last ones. Maybe it's just because this is more of a boots on the ground kind of hero, and maybe I like that more than I do with all the superpowers and stuff. I'm not quite sure, but whatever it is, I like it. And I really liked this season finale. They did a good job with this season finale. It wraps stuff up. I tell you right now, that Yelena, I just love her so much. I think she's my new favorite Avenger because Tony died and he was my favorite. But I think she's my new favorite. She's just so fantastic. She makes me laugh. Yeah. Yeah, all the scenes with Elena, I really loved it a lot. So this was a good season finale. I really hope there's a season 2. They haven't announced anything unless they're doing it while I'm recording this. As of recording this, they have not announced season 2. But I really hope they do because I liked Kate Bishop. I liked Kate Bishop, and I liked I hope the bros, the tracksuit mafia gang, I don't remember. I hope they come back. I loved them. And we'll talk about them in a little bit. And then Kingpin's not dead. There's no way. Did you see him die? Nope. And that clown dude, Kratzy, whatever his name was, he's not dead either. He's not dead because we saw him dying, but did we see his dead body and everything? So he could be still alive. He just I don't know, passed out or something like that. I don't know. But I do, and because he still had we'll talk about it when we get to it. Anyways, but there was something okay, so Echo's getting her own show, but I don't see why. I didn't think she was that great of a character in this whole thing. I mean, there was potential, which I guess there's potential, and that's why they're going to do a show just for her. But I'm all I'm not really interested. I'll probably watch it though. All right. I'm going to stop yapping because I've done enough of that. But before I get started on this breakdown, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we always get pushed to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe. And I thank you in advance. So I'm going to get started on this breakdown, you guys. And it starts off with Wilson Fisk in his little tiki hut. I don't know what's going on here with this, but he meets with Mama Bishop and everything. And he's all what's going on, Eleanor, and everything. And long story short, she's like, I want out. I've paid you back what my husband owed you. Because remember in the first episode, her husband was she's all we need to sell the penthouse. He's like, no, we don't. And it's obvious he went to Kingpin to get the money that he owed or whatever. And now she has paid back her husband's debt. And so she's like, I'm done and everything. And he's all oh, it's really unfortunate that you have to leave kind of thing. And it gets recorded by Yalana, and she sends that to Kate. So then they're sitting here and she's like, why would my mother do this kind of thing? And I don't remember what else they talk about here. But she talks about how when she was younger, she saw him fight the aliens and she was alone. And when that happened, she realized that she didn't need superpowers to be a hero. She just needed a bow and a string or some crap like that. I don't remember exactly what it was. Sorry, I didn't write down notes this episode because I needed to get this done. I've had a crappy day. My kids are driving me crazy today because they're just all happy on Christmas break, which this Christmas theme I love. I love Christmas, so the Christmas theme is always great. And then they were just super happy and they would not let me finish this episode. I'll tell you what, it was a trek. Anyways, so then we go back to Kingpin and he's all Echo wants to, hold on. Okay. So Echo shows up and he's all what's going on with you? You've always been focused and now all of a sudden you're off. And she knows what's doing, but she's all sorry, I've just been a little, off my game, but I'll stay focused now and everything. So then she leaves. Oh, he's like, I love you and everything. And then she leaves and he's all what's going on? Echo's off her game. Eleanor wants to leave. This Hawkeye guy is looking into our stuff and everything. We need to deal with this now. So So then, so he sends the clown guy. I'm gonna call him the clown because what's his name? Kurtzy. Anyways, who cares? I didn't like this character at all. Like, I mean, like I guess he's in the comic books. I didn't read those comic books, the Daredevil ones or whatnot, where Echo shows up. So I don't know. It's been a while since I've read a Marvel comic book. Anyways, so then they're on the train. And I can't remember what she says here. Maybe this is where she says the thing about fighting you don't have to have superheroes to be a hero. There are superpowers to be a hero. But he's like, we're going to make some trick arrows. So then they do a montage of trick arrows. And this was very good. I like how she labeled them. So good. And they make some, different ones. They make some ones that blow up. They got some pepper spray and all that stuff. And, some dart ones where they knocks people out, which we'll get to in a minute. And then, they get ready to go battle. I can't remember what they talk about here. And it doesn't really matter because this was all about the fights for me because I was like, yeah, good moments. Anyways, so then the bros are headed down to Rockefeller Square or Center or whatever it's called. I don't know. I don't live in New York. I have been there before. I've been to Manhattan. It's fantastic. I loved every minute of it. Anyways, so they go to this party, the Christmas party, where there's Gary, and he's an enemy apparently because he fired her on her first and only job, which was funny. I liked that callback. This woman right here, this waitress right here, is one of the LARPers, and they've got all the LARPers around the room, and they're their allies. So then Jack is talking to this kid, which is little Edwin the third or some crap like that. Little Edwin or Edgar, whatever that dude was called. I don't remember. It doesn't even freaking matter because he was all like, I was told I'd get your vintage wine collection. He's like, by the time you get to time to drink it, it will have peaked and everything. And he's all like, not if you're in jail and everything. He's like, remember that time we were at the Hamptons and you peed your pants? And then he got all like up. So he's like, I remember. Everybody remembers. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So then the clown sets up his rifle to shoot. Bang, bang. And then, she's looking. Then Yelena shows up. He's like, you want to check your coat? And she's like, no, and everything. I love Yelena. I love her so much. She looks very good here. That coat is fantastic. And her hair is pretty good there, too. So then Mama Bishop shows up to the party. And Kate pulls her aside. And she's all like, what is this all about? You are committing crimes and everything. And she's all like, listen, you have no idea. I was caught off guard. Your dad collected debt, and then he got the money from this guy. And what was I supposed to do? And then Jack shows up and he's like, I really need to talk to you. That's a Russian accent. Anyways, anyways. He's like, I really need to talk to you. She's like, not right now, Jack. And I'm just like, when are you going to talk about your betrayal, honey? Okay. Cause you literally like put your fiance in prison. Sorry, jail, not prison. And so then Hawkeye's staring out the window. The waitress comes up, the LARPer, and he sees this little red light through the glasses, and he's like, "Get down!" But and I love how he grabbed the tray and he used that to block the bullet. So good, so good. And then he starts firing just randomly into the thing, and she's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Mom, you need to leave." And then she leaves, and Jack's like, anyways, I need to, and then they're gone. So good. Oh, he showed up with a sword, by the way, because he's the swordsman in the comic book. I don't know that character, haven't read it and everything. Kate goes out, and all these guys are just, like, get everybody out. And so Hawkeye goes, and he's getting ready to go do his Hawkeye thing. And Kate, her hair looks really good there. Yelena's hair. So Kate and Yelena show up at the elevator, and she's like, hello, Kate Bishop. And she's like, I'm here to kill Clint Barton. And she's like, well, he's like, there's 47 floors in this building. You don't know which one he's in. She's like, 12. And she's like, man. And so she tries to get in the elevator. She's like, no, and everything. And then she sneaks in there. And she's all like, she keeps trying to hit the button, and Elena, stops her and everything. And then finally she smacks Elena. She's like, what was that? And she's like, I'm sorry. And then she grabs her little dress and she flips out, and she's got her hand. She's like, did you do that on purpose? And she's like, yes. And she's like, no. And so she hits all the buttons, which is very funny. She's like, oh, that's so annoying. So they're getting everybody out. And then this guy is all like trying to get everybody in there. And Yelena and Kate are running through this floor fighting. And it was very good. It was very good. And she stops her and she's like, hey, why don't we just go have a drink? And she's like, all right, cool. After I kill Clint Barton, she's like, no, no, and everything. And she kicks her in the ribs, and then they just keep fighting. I like how she wiped her across the glass here. Very funny, very like slapsticky, but and usually I don't like too much slapsticky, but this was funny. And then Clint, he stops this guy by shooting one of those purple fog, purple spray, whatever, arrows and everything. So then they're fighting and everything, and she throws the thing and she's like, "Ow, that really hurt." And she's all like, "Yeah," and she's all like, she goes, yeah, she's like, "Well, that kick in the ribs didn't really feel good." And she's like, "Ah, good on the little body throw thing." She's like, "Stop making me like you." And she's like, "Sorry, it's a habit," and everything. She's like, "Okay, bye." And then she does her little thing. And then Yelena leaves, jumps out of windows, the best. Like this girl knows how to jump out of windows with style. Like well, the first one was off of a building, and then she jumped out the window. The fifth episode was, yeah. And then this one, she just jumps out, very cool, like, and then she's just running down the building, very cool. And we've kind of seen this in other stuff before, like Mission Impossible and stuff like that. But this was still pretty cool. And she's like, "Clint, she's coming for you. It's Elena," and everything. And she like, oh, look at her face. I love that. She's so good. I love Florence Pugh. I think Elena is my favorite new Avenger. Well, she's not an Avenger yet, but she will be. And so she does her little turny turn and she shoots at him, but she misses. And then she slides down the building while firing. And then she lands. And she's like, "Oh, I missed him, but I'm going to get him." And then Kate, she wraps her little thing around and she's like, "Oh, this is supposed to be scary. This is supposed to be scary." And then she just goes for it. She just jumps. Now, she goes down the building, but she's not doing it with style and grace. But I feel like she would have went splat. I really do, because she like did this, but she was still going way fast. Like the whole time I'm just like, Kate Bishop goes splat. But she didn't. She landed just fine, which is fine. I'm not upset about it or anything like that. But a small piece of me, I'm like, I feel like she would have died. I really do. So then she's fighting the tracksuit mafia. And then she gets to this guy and he's like, "Hey, I listened to your advice to tell my girlfriend." She's like, "Oh, did it work?" He's like, "We went to Maroon 5 instead." And she's like, "Oh, good." She's like, "What's with the gun?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, I have to." And then she takes him out. She's fighting these guys. And Jack shows up and he starts fighting too with his sword, because we got to see a little action with him. I would have preferred to see him and Clint Barton in the third episode fight in the house or whatever. But what are you going to do? You can't win them all. These guys come in the building and everything. And then the clown shows up and he's all like, "This is going to be fun," or "This is going to be fun." And then they fight a little bit, and then he takes out the other dudes. And he's like, "You're right, it was fun." And then he jumps out the window on that same rope, but it breaks, like the hook comes off, and he falls into the tree, and he lands in the tree, and he's all like, "Oh," and then he looks over, and there's a cute owl. Like I was like, "Oh, I just want to squeeze its face off." This little owl. So then Kate's like, "Where are you?" He's like, "I'm in the tree." And she's like, "All right." So they get these people to help clear everybody, but they're like, "People aren't listening to us because we're wearing red, waiter suits." And I'm all like, I feel like people would not just listen to you because they changed their costume in their LARPing suits. And I'm like, I feel like I wouldn't take you seriously in a LARPing suit. Like, and plus, why are these people like running like back and forth and stuff? I'm like, run away, like away. This should be empty by now. Anyways. Echo goes back to her house. She grabs all her crap and she's like, "I'm going to confront the clown." And so the Tracksuit Mafia, they show up and she's in FAO Schwartz. And I have to just say, when I went to Manhattan, I've been there once, and I went to FAO Schwartz when it was still open, and it was huge. I loved it. It was so big. I haven't been there since, and apparently it's been busted down to size because for some odd reason, kids don't want toys anymore. They just want iPhones and iPads. So stupid. Kids play with toys. They're super fun. But she stands on the little piano from Big, and I was like, "Oh, shut up! Look at that." So then these LARPers come out and they start, fighting the Tracksuit Mafia / helping everybody. And like he gets this little Edwin kid. I would not take these people seriously. Like, don't get me wrong. I like LARPing. It's so fascinating. I love that whole world. If I had more time and money, I'd get into it, but I can't because you can't have all the hobbies. So then she's like, "I'm going to get you down." So she shoots the wires and then she shoots the bottom of the tree with an acid arrow and he falls down. Then all the tracksuit mafia guys come in and she shoots arrows to get this fog going a little bit. She's like, what are we going to do? There's like 1,000 of them and there's only 2 of us. And he puts in some arrows and she's like, is it time? And he's like, it's time. Let's kick some ace and everything. So then they start shooting the arrows. And we got this the sunbeam one kind of thing. He shoots this one, which shoots all these little nails out and everything. Very cool. He shoots this guy in the ice. Like, I feel like his leg is gone now. Like, we're gonna need to amputate. Like, it's just gone. And there's some fighting in there. He shoots this one, which is like an electric little wiry thing. He shoots that guy, which ends up that one, it turns around and it shoots all these little darts, which makes everybody go to sleep. This one is the pepper spray. I just want to say real quick about pepper spray. I've never been sprayed with pepper spray, but one time I was in detention, long story, but in high school, and a girl, I can't remember her name, she had a pepper spray on her thing. And this one kid was like, is this pepper spray? And she's like, yeah, you never know, and everything. And he like sprayed a little bit on the wall. And then he took and there was only like, I think like 6 or 7 people in there. So then he took his finger and he wiped it on the wall. And then he went to everybody, because nobody was paying attention and everything. And he wiped it on their forehead. He wiped it on my forehead. No joke. It burned so much. Like, I was just like, my forehead is on fire right now. Like, I was all like, so this right here, what's going on with these dudes? I was all like, they are burning. Their skin is burning right now. And so then I liked this move. She did this thing where she like hopped up on her arrow and then she like did a little not realistic because of physics thing. And she jumped on his shoulders and then knocked him down. And they're fighty. Everything's cool. And then some more tracksuit people show up. So they're still fighting, shooting the arrows. Everything's great. Oh, she shot this arrow. And it was an airbag. This part made me laugh so hard when these dudes flew up in the air. Like, have you ever seen those videos where people sit on couches and then they shoot up into the air because people put an airbag underneath? So funny. I laughed out loud. Then they do this sonic arrow that we saw in episode 4. And they're all taken out. And then this truck comes in to try to like hit them, but also die. And she shoots the pim arrow at it and turns it into a little truck, a teeny little truck. And then she's like, what do we do with him now? And he's like, I don't know. I'll have to ask Scott. But then the owl shows up and takes them away. Those bros are dead. They are dead. They killed them. End of story. And he blows them up because they get up and they're all like, we're going to go take them out. And it's like, no, you're not. You're going to die now, or you're going to get blown up. They're dead. You're dead. I read an article one time in Science Magazine. It wasn't in Science Magazine, but that's what I say when I can't remember what it was. And it said something how like, if there's an explosion and you don't die from the explosion, like from being so close to it, but you're close enough to where a blast hits you, it said that your insides basically turn to mush. Like they get all messed up. You're basically just a walking corpse at that point because the blast is so powerful that your insides are messed up, kind of thing. It was more technical than that. I'm just paraphrasing, but anyways, so then he's like, go get your mom. I'll take care of this or whatever. So the clown shows up. He grabs an arrow, a regular arrow, and then he shoots it, but then he shoots a second arrow behind it, and it splits it into into 2 arrows, and then that middle one's still the arrow. And those 2 dudes get taken out but he grabs it. He's like, nice shot. And he's like, no shiz. And then Yelena comes and tackles him. They land on the thing, and then Echo shows up and starts fighting the clown. And so then she's like, before I kill you, Clint Barton, I want to ask you one question. What happened to my sister, Natasha? And he's all like, you're not going to believe me. So I'm not going to tell you because you're not going to believe me. But I just want you to know that your sister sacrificed herself to save the world. She's like, you are lying and everything. So then Echo's all like, she's all like, run away with me, babe. She's like, basically, come away with me. Like, we'll run away together. We'll leave this life. And he's basically like, this is my life, kind of thing. Eleanor gets attacked by Kingpin. He kills her little bodyguards, and then he rips her door off. He's got super strength. I don't remember Kingpin having super strength in the comic books, but I honestly don't remember. It's been a while since I've read any Marvel comic books. Long story short, they just got to be too expensive because they kept doing big events and crossovers. And, if you are a comic book reader, buying 1 or 2 comic books at the comic book shop a week is not expensive, but buying like 20 comic books a week is expensive. You know, it gets really expensive and everything. So then he's like, don't leave, Eleanor. And then Kate shows up and she shoots him in the chest with an arrow. And he's just like, what is this kind of thing? He's all like, so then Eleanor hits him with her car into this toy shop, FAO Schwartz. At least that's what I think it was. I didn't see a sign, but I just assumed because it's Rockefeller Center, and FAO Schwartz was in Rockefeller Center. I don't remember. I remember going, and there was like 2 floors, and I was just like in heaven. It was like so good. It was, so good. Anyways, so then he is basically like, I can't be in both worlds. So he grabs an arrow and tries to fight her, but he gets stabbed. Now, I thought I grabbed a screenshot of it. Okay, so he's lying here. They never took the arrow piece out. And I you see in movies where somebody gets like stabbed or whatever, and then they pull out the knife or whatever. I have read/heard from people, and I'm no medical expert. I just want to say what I've heard. Don't believe what you see on TV. I've been told by medical people /nurses mostly. They say don't pull it out because what that object that's inside of you could be holding everything together stopping blood flow. Like, so when you pull it out, it just it takes away that barrier. So if you leave it in, even though it might be super painful, it could be keeping stuff together, and I'm like, and they didn't take it out. So I'm like, he could still be alive. So he could be in the Echo show, and he could become that clown character that he is, because he has like a white face in the comic book. I like how I did face waterfall for you. Anyways, so then Kingpin's in the toy store. Kate comes in. They're fighty. Yelena and Clint are fighty. And he keeps telling, he's like, she sacrificed herself. She's like, why do you keep lying and everything? Kate, he breaks all the arrows and everything. And then she's fighting him. And then and so Yelena's all like, hold on, let me just real quick. Okay. So then Yelena is fighting him still, and Kingpin, she shoots an arrow into the arrow, and it activates them, and it blows up, and he gets thrown across the room. She comes out and she's like, Mom, and she's like, this is what I'm talking about. She's like, this is the thing. And she's like, people need to be held accountable and responsible for their actions. And they come and arrest her for the death of Armand. I remembered. Okay. Armand Jr., whatever that little kid's name was. I remember now. She's like, is this what heroes do? They send their mothers to prison on Christmas. And I was like, well, if your mom's a criminal, which I'm kind of bummed that she didn't do anything else. Like, I was kind of hoping to see her Vera Farmiga fight but I mean, I guess she's not Madam Mask and everything, or maybe she is, and this is like her origin story kind of thing. Maybe she'll be back for season 2. I hope there's a season 2. I really do. So then Elena's all like sitting here, and Clint Barton does the little whistle thing that they used to do as kids. She's like, how do you know that? And he's like, Natasha told me about your secret whistle. He's like, she talked about you a lot. And she's all like, what did she say? And Clint Barton's like, all good things. I can't remember what he said. And so they're all buddy now. And so then Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, sorry, I got cold all of a sudden. Kingpin's all walking through the thing, and Echo shows up, and he's all like, you're hurt, but we're family. And then it pans up, and then you hear a gunshot. Now, that does not mean he died, because again, did you see a dead body? Because I know I didn't see a dead body. And if that's all we get of Kingpin, that's ridiculous, because we should get more Kingpin. I like Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. He wasn't as good as he was in Daredevil. I liked Daredevil all 3 seasons, even though season 2 was probably the worst one, but I still liked it. I liked season 2. But I do I want him in Daredevil to meet again in the MCU. So I really hope this isn't the only time we saw him in one episode. That would be crazy, because I do like Vincent D'Onofrio. He's very talented. So then back at the Rockefeller Center, these two are talking. She's like, you're really good with that sword. You ever heard of LARPing? And he's all like, no, I've never heard of LARPing. I love how I do the Russian accent for everybody now. And she's like, well, I'm part of a guild. And he's like, oh no, I have blood on my tie. And that's where that ends there. But maybe he'll get his in season 2. I'm going to say season 2 because we're getting a season 2. I have hope. He'll wear his swordsman costume that he does in the comic books. That's the perfect opportunity to do that. So then these two are sitting here talking, and he's all like, you never, you reach a perfect something. He's talking about her, but then he's like, this is such a great costume. I just want to say the costume was fine, but I liked his old costume way better than this one. I mean, her costume is better than his costume. So I feel like maybe they should just go back to the old one. He's like, we need to take this dog for a walk. So they go back to Clint's house, and the kids come out. They're like, Dad, you made it home for Christmas and everything. And his wife is all like, hey, you made it home and everything. And they come in, they're opening gifts, and he's all like, I got you something. And it's the watch. And I figured it was her watch back when season 4 or 5, when he was talking to her about it. I figured it was her watch and everything. And she turned around and it says 19. Now, I looked that up, and Agent 19 is supposed to be Mockingbird, but we already had a Mockingbird in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I'm pretty sure if this is Mockingbird, then I have 2 thoughts on that. That Andrea Palasecki, is that how you say her name? She is not the Mockingbird for the MCU. I know that they tried to connect that show, but it didn't work out because Kevin Feige does not like Jeff Loeb. Plus, that show kind of went off the rails like hardcore. So she's the MCU's Mockingbird, which is cool, but she better fighty at some point in time, or we better see some flashbacks of how they met and everything. But yeah. Because like Agent 19, like Agent 13, like Peggy Carter's granddaughter. Anyways, so then these two go out and they burn the Ronin suit. And then she's all like, I got some ideas for some names. And one of them was Lady Hawk. I don't know if that's anybody's name in the thing, but Lady Hawk is like this 80s movie with Michelle Pfeiffer and Matthew Broderick. And that movie is, I personally like it because it's not the best, but it's like crazy good, like fantasy wise. And I just, if you ever watch it, go do it. It's just a fun time. It's not the best movie, but it's a fun time. So she keeps throwing out all these other ones. Like she's like, and everything. And as she's doing that, and he's like, I got an idea for a name. And it has this bullseye or whatever. And then that's where it ends. We get the title of Hawkeye, the title card. And I have to say that this episode, again, was very good. I enjoyed it immensely. This was a good season finale, way better than the other season finales we got, because as I've told you before, I did not like any of the other MCU TV shows. They just, in my personal opinion, the writing was just awful. I couldn't handle it. I didn't like them. But if you liked them, by all means, have at it. I'm so happy you liked them. I would never take that away from somebody, but I did not like them. But I did like this show, and I don't know what it is 100% why I liked it over the other ones, but I just do. And I can't wait for season 2. I know there's going to be a season 2. There has to be a season 2. I mean, like, this is all we're going to get. Like, no. So that is my review and breakdown of this episode. Again, very good. I don't think anybody of substance, a character of substance, died in this episode. So we will see them in season 2 or in the Echo show. And I can't wait. I mean, the Echo show, I'm not really excited for, but I'll probably watch it and break them down and everything for you guys. All right, you guys, tell me, what did you guys think about this episode? And did you like it as a season finale? Are you excited for a season 2, even though it hasn't been announced yet as of recording this? And did you like Vincent D'Onofrio coming back as Kingpin? What was your favorite part? Are you like me and you love Yalana now and everything? Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind if you're new to my channel. Please hit that subscribe button. I will see you guys, on my next show or whatnot. You guys have a good day. Bye.